Hi guys, it's Sebastian Bates here, the founder of the Warrior Academy and the host of the Warrior Academy podcast. Today I wanted to share with you a short chapter from the book Not a Victim. Not a Victim is a book I wrote in 2021 with the sole aim of helping parents mentor their children through the very, very difficult transition of bullying. I also recorded it as an audiobook, so if you'd like to have that book, then listen to this chapter, get a feel for what it's all about, and then have a look on Spotify or Audible for the audiobook, or even on Amazon for the physical book if you like a paper-based book. I really hope that it helps you prepare your child for the eventuality of going through bullying. Bullying is an inevitable but difficult transition that most of us go through in our lives. And as parents, I think it's really important we act proactively to prepare our children for the eventuality of having to go through it themselves. We can't always be there for our children, but we can give them the tools. We can empower them to face life's obstacles on their own. I hope you enjoy this chapter. Chapter 2: How Bullying Works. When we talk about bullying, it's common to think about other people bullying us and about physical pain. There's often less talk of the mental pain that bullying can cause. With physical pain, the healing process is not conscious. Over time, it just happens. Healing mental pain is different. We need a conscious strategy for it. Otherwise, we can create stories in our mind that will make us less likely to recover and become mentally strong. When your body feels sore, it's harder to move. It's the same with mental soreness. It makes it harder to think, decide, and act. We want you to help your child become resilient against both kinds of pain. Learning how to deal with the mental pain of bullying in particular will set your child up well for the 21st century. Bullying and the brain. Bullying causes changes in brain function and brain structures, comparable to the harm done by chronic and acute stress. In fact, bullying can contribute to chronic stress, while witnessing or undergoing trauma is a form of acute stress. Scientists have found that bullying, child abuse, trauma, and stress all cause comparable damages in particular parts of the brain. One of the most famous theories for understanding the brain is the triune brain theory, which was developed by Paul MacLean and became influential in the 1960s. And has been revised over the years since. This theory distinguishes three sections of the brain: the reptilian brain, the limbic system, and the prefrontal cortex. The reptilian brain, the oldest of the three from an evolutionary perspective, includes the main structures found in a reptile's brain: the brainstem and the cerebellum. This brain is reliable but rigid. It's our fight or flight mechanism. The limbic system, which emerged in mammals first, is more advanced. This section of the brain includes the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, and the amygdala. It records memories of experiences and is responsible for our emotions, having a strong influence over our decisions and behavior. Finally, the prefrontal cortex, PFC, which first evolved in primates and reached its highest evolutionary state in the human brain, incorporates two large cerebral hemispheres, which are the source of our abstract thinking, vision, and creativity, imagination, and language. The PFC is flexible with an infinite learning ability. Of course, these three sections of the brain influence each other. It is essential to understand that the brain is developing from before birth and until around the age of 25. The development involves an increase in connections between nerve cells. During puberty, a pruning process occurs to retain the most useful connections and to optimize communication in the brain. Inactive connections disappear, and many well-used connections are strengthened. This optimization process does not happen in all brain sections at once. The emotional brain, the limbic system, is first up, as extra stimuli are generated by our hormones during adolescence. At this stage in our development, the rest of the brain is not strong enough to understand and control this hypersensitivity of the emotional brain. So the adolescent brain is out of balance, influencing adolescent behavior. Bullying, like stress, alters the chemical messengers in the brain. Hormones and neurotransmitters, adrenaline, cortisol, vasopressin, and serotonin, are a few of them. which can be excitatory or inhibitory. When we are scared or experience a stressful event, high hormonal activity occurs immediately in the limbic system. The reptilian brain is activated, and we shut down the PFC, the part of our brain that is able to process visionary creative ideas. We feel pessimistic, less likely to explore new concepts, and our defenses go up, putting our body into the well-known fight or flight mode. Physically, our body language changes. Our heart rate decreases, we take in more oxygen, our pupils dilate, our muscles tense. Our body is ready to take action. It's possible for people who are going through emotional trauma to live like this for days, weeks, or months at a time, and for the impact to be both short and long-term. If we're able to spot ourselves falling into this state, we have a better chance of engaging the PFC and being able to respond in a positive way. As a parent experiencing the stress of your child being bullied, that translates into mentoring your child from a far more positive position, with a more proactive, less reactive approach. This will accelerate the speed at which your child will make it through the bullying experience. After the threat is gone, it takes 20 to 60 minutes for the body to return to its pre-arousal state. Neurotransmitters, again, govern this phase. This is a natural and healthy system in balance, which means that stress in moderation is not necessarily harmful. Things get complicated when a person experiences chronic stress. Bullying is mostly a systematic, chronic form of aggression. The careful balance between excitatory and inhibitory actions in the brain is lost when cortisol, the arousal hormone, stays at high levels. High cortisol levels can damage certain brain structures and increase the size of others, which may result in serious health problems. Both psychological disorders, anxiety, depression, poor self-esteem, and physical disorders, high blood pressure, increased risk of heart disease, diabetes. Over time, this can lead to impulsive, even violent behavior, increased anxiety, depression, alcohol and drug abuse, learning disorders, and stress-related diseases. What is remarkable is the variety of responses to stress in different individuals. A small amount of stress related to a one-off event or situation can cause long-lasting effects that can continue into adulthood, as you'll remember from Mano's story, while substantial or long-lasting situations can cause only mild and transitory damage and symptoms. The consequences of trauma are not always related to its severity, which is why there is a wide variety in the extent of harm a person will suffer during bullying. These observations are essential when we look for ways to heal the damage caused by bullying and stress. How can we develop resilience? Or should we focus on resistance? What neurobiological substances play a role here? Many researchers all over the world are investigating this subject. As soon as there is a better understanding of these issues, we will be closer to a solution for the damage to the brain caused by bullying and trauma. In contrast to early opinions, we know now that nerve cells can regenerate. The survival and incorporation of new neurons is known as neuroplasticity. We do not yet know, however, how to stimulate this process. Until we do, we embrace a variety of valuable symptom controls. One of those is mental health or cognitive fitness. I really hope you enjoyed today's Warrior Academy podcast episode. We're going to keep creating these episodes because I know that so many parents find them useful or get insights or get ideas about how to develop their child's character. But it all comes down to the 3 C's: confidence, conduct, and concentration. So if you want to get a deep insight into the levels of confidence your child has, the level of concentration they have, or the level of conduct they have, so that you can actually put a score next to it and then work towards increasing those scores like we do in the Warrior Academy, then I'd love to invite you to fill in the Breakthrough Area Assessment. It takes about 5 minutes of your time, and you will get a personalized PDF report on your child's 3 C's. To access the Breakthrough Area Assessment and find out your child's 3 C's score, all you need to do is go to www.breakthrougharea.com.